Hello, welcome to the second part of Making Sally Seeking the Truth. And here I am in Machinima. I opened the library and I have imported the first Sally character there. I press F to focus on it and then I just try to find the camera angle and see what's going on. I realized that here the motion could be like this. X-form is made at the place of Sally, and then camera put it under that X-form, and then the X-form is rotated, so the camera swings there in the air. And from here on, we go to the lightning. I have this excellent library lighted up with a huge rectangle light coming out of window, giving this great soft glow everywhere, and another one, a little smaller disc light, also giving this soft sunlight, warm yellowish light floating in. And this is basically the start of the lighting, and then I'm lighting up the interiors with this blue, little bit dimmy rectangle light up in the air, high there, to give a kind of a horror movie feeling there. And the character is lighted up with the one strong hair key behind her, shooting straight to the book itself and to the library here. So we get nice effects with just one light. And the face is actually lighted up with the book reflecting the light. And here we see the take. It's pretty powerful. The cables were there in the original Unreal file. Also, the red carpet we see at the corner, which is really artistic, that was there too. So everybody just, everything just clicked in beautifully. And here we see the nice reflection from the book on her face. Okay, then next thing, animating the lantern. First, I tried to make it by manually animating the lantern. That's stupid, don't try it. You can easily make these kind of things with dynamic simulations in Omniverse. So let's see how to do it. Try to select the higher part, the cube here, right click, add Physx, and rigid body with collider presets, and same thing here. And then for the upper part, you also activate kinematics enabled. So it will be the master. And then I select upper and then shift, select lower and add a joint, spherical joint. And I tweak the cone angle limits to 45 both, and I change the axis of the joint to be Y. And then it's the correct one. And now let's see how it goes. If I press play to start simulating and move the upper part, it's coming along, but it's not swinging so much. We have to select the joint and just transform it higher to be in the middle of this thing. So now it will swing just like a lantern should do. Yeah, beautiful. And here you see it attached to the lantern and also flame added there, so it works perfect. And this was a huge step for me in animating props for characters. And here it's attached to her hand. It will stay there. It will be there. It will not fly yet. The thing to do next to let her throw the lantern is to animate the spherical joints enablet tick. So you can create keyframes for these joint enabled yes or no ticks there. You can create keyframes for almost everything nowadays in Omniverse. So I just release it on the frame 41. I create two keys, one after another on, another off, and you see here, woo, it flies away. And this is the way I animated the lantern to fly. Check it out, like that. But it flies there now, And on the second run of the simulation, it flies to the another direction. So it must be baked, but it's not possible yet. So I had to make a workaround. I made a new lantern there and just animated manually to fly to the wall. And here we see both of them. Another one is disappearing, another one is flying there. Yeah. So I hope NVIDIA can bake the simulation soon. And then the fire thing, we have a point cloud here imported, and I have flow emitter, which is using the point cloud to be the burning item. And then I fire it up with 3 animated flames, spheres, so I can time it up. And this is by with Dave Tyner's tutorial, Everything Burns with
Why
NVIDIA
sully the mind with silly daydreams from incompetent scholars?
And here we see the whole show. Yeah. Okay, now the falling shelters. Again, I go with the Dave Tyner's warehouse project tutorial. Excellent one. This one, he breaks up the whole thing in a huge tutorial series. And now I couldn't have the point clouds there because they are static. So I just had fire emitters constrained to some parts of the books or library shelters. And one thing I learned, I can't save the scene while it's simulating. If I save it, it will halt like that. They will not jump back to the original position. All right, and here we are in Audoweb Audition, where I do the audio work, the whole thing. You can see how I covered up this part with a huge amount of audio effects to make it feel better. And here on Premiere Pro, I'm doing the color correction. Nothing so much here. You can see on, off. Just a little bit of Grand Budapest by Lutify Me. And then we can see that most of the lights are done with the strong top light. This was the language of my light setup here. I tried to replicate the same thing on every shot. And I used Firefly filtering on 100, much smaller than the default value. Also, quite little amount of denoising to make the skin look crisp. And then I had to use some bloom with the FFT bloom with very low setting, and that's it. Rendering character creator characters is quite heavy. I had to use 60 path trace samples and 20 for the motion blur, and sometimes even 100 for the path trace samples, 20 motion blur. Rendering was done in excellent iRender rendering farm. They support Omniverse, and here is the Sally Seeking the Truth. I hope you enjoyed it.
Magic, ancient adventures and fairy tales, poems and riddles. These old books are just stunning. I wonder how they come up with all these stories. There is so much to learn from these pages. The whole of human legacy is here, wrapped inside these leather-bound covers. Each book an opportunity for humanity to learn and grow. Right next to Paraguay, you find beautiful Valverde. King of this country is Arius. That's not true at all. Arius has already fallen. The Count of Monte Cristo, Edmond Dantes, was framed. And that's not true either. He was found to be innocent. The military revolt of 1857 was called the Indian Uprising, not the Indian Mutiny. Why tarnish such an obvious fact? These romantic tales have completely ignored the fact that women have ambitions as well. Why sully the mind with silly daydreams from incompetent scholars? Now the good people from Bellingcat can continue my work. Take care.